Okay, engineers, welcome to today's session. We're going to tackle some essential settings in Primavera P6. By the end of this walkthrough, you'll feel confident managing start-to-start relationships, defining critical activities, and calculating float, all step by step. So let's dive right in. All right, here's our project opened in Primavera P6. We're going to start with calculating start-to-start lag. Let me set the scene. A start-to-start relationship means that activity A, your predecessor, has to start before activity B, your successor, gets going. Got it? Great. Now, the tricky part happens when activity 2 starts out of sequence. Imagine you have a construction project, and activity 2 unexpectedly starts before activity 1 is fully complete. In this case, the successor activity is delayed while waiting for its lag to expire, and for all predecessor relationships to be satisfied. In the option, calculate start-to-start lag from, here you have two options, actual start or early start, depending on what drives the successor's start date.
Wait, what does actual start mean in this context?
Great question, David. Choosing actual start means you're basing the successor's start date on how much time has physically elapsed since the predecessor's actual start date. For example, if construction starts Monday and the lag is 2 days, the successor starts on Wednesday, regardless of progress from Monday to Tuesday.
So, actual start would make more sense when you're scheduling based on elapsed time?
Exactly. It's more useful when progress doesn't matter for the successor to begin. Keep that as a rule of thumb. Now let's move on to critical activities. These are the lifeline of your project schedule. If delayed, they'll either push your project end date or cause chaos in your schedule. So let's define them properly. In P6, you have two methods to mark activities as critical. First, the total float option. Total float is simply the amount of slack time an activity has. Here's the key. Any activity with total float less than or equal to your defined threshold will appear as critical. Mostly, we define it as 0 hours.
But float is in hours, right? Does that mean we have to convert everything?
You're spot on, Mark. Float in P6 is always converted to hours in scheduling calculations, even if your preferences show days or weeks. For example, if you enter a threshold of 2 days, P6 converts that into 48 hours to determine if an activity is critical. For this, make sure your user settings in admin preferences or your default project calendar match your work period expectations. Then, in the total float field, enter your threshold, say 24 hours or 2D, and P6 will handle the rest. If you want an alternative way to define criticality, go with the longest path option. This calculates critical activities as those that follow the longest chain of driving relationships back to the project start. It's great for identifying which tasks are truly driving your schedule. See here? Longest path highlights all activities with an early finish equal to the project's latest calculated early finish. Your schedule's backbone right there.
Can it show multiple float paths?
Absolutely. Head to the Advanced tab in Schedule Options and select Calculate Multiple Critical Float Paths. This tool identifies subcritical paths too, ideal for complex projects. Last chapter of today's lesson. Calculating float based on the end date. Float measures how much wiggle room an activity has, how soon or late it can begin without slowing down the project. Two methods here. Each project and opened projects. Choose each project if you want float calculated individually for every open project, ideal for standalone schedules. Open projects, on the other hand, uses the latest finish date across all open projects and external relationships to calculate float. This option is great when tracking interconnected projects.
So the float period changes based on which option you choose.
You nailed it. Opened projects often gives more float, but use it carefully for multi-project dependencies. And that's it, folks. We tackled start-to-start lags, critical activities, and float. all in digestible steps. Now, I challenge you to open your own project and test these settings. Remember, practice makes perfect. I'll see you in the next session. Now, I challenge you to open your own project and test these settings. Remember, practice makes perfect. I'll see you in the next session. Happy planning.